Welcome to Sith Talk, brought to you by Gattacar and Lanyard, bring you news from Star Wars The Old Republic and beyond. Join us now as we explore the universe and take down the Republic in a galaxy not so far away. Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Hi.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was waving hi.
I see this, and I'm like, oh shit.
No, you're good.
Welcome everybody to this week's SWTOR podcast, Sith Talk. Of course, with me, Lanyard,
hello,
as usual. And as you all already knew, this will be his last show. But there is bigger news to be had. So this week we're gonna once again thank you guys for all of the praise and the respect and all the backing that you guys have supplied us for this last year. As you may get to hear my dog crunchy from time to time for conceivably the last time. But we do have a bit of news for you this week, as well as a bit of gameplay coming out of Lanyard's camp. But we do want to thank all of our support, all of you for the support, because this is a podcast like many others, brought to you by gamers like you, for gamers like you, and in some cases contributed to by gamers like you.
Very well done.
Yeah. So I would check and see what we had for YouTube, but our YouTube comments are normally from, luckily enough to only have one, and it's normally our buddy Dog. And Dog is awesome.
Dog is awesome.
He's been there since the beginning. He watches us on live stream. He has started, I believe, his own, either him or another one of our fans has started their own podcast, yep, which I'm always always excited to hear about. As we get into, we've been doing this for over a year, and I didn't even think it would last this long, to be perfectly honest. There were so many times when I thought for sure that it was going to be the end of the road, just getting into the road, yeah, and getting maybe bulldozed by someone. As many times as we've had flags thrown up every time we've criticized a member of the SWTOR development team. Yep. Every time we put one of their names in our video, we've gotten flagged. Yep. It's kind of funny. We're a fan cast, and we always have. That was what we had set out to be. We didn't want to be superstars. Luckily, that didn't come true either.
Not yet. Not as far as the Sith Talk goes.
But I mean, we do. There are many other avenues that we are currently exploring. But before we get into the sadness and the memories moment, Lanyard, let's do as we usually do and start off with your week.
Well, Friday I played a little SWTOR. I was going to try to vidcap it, but I was vidcapping and streaming at the same time on two different programs, and my computer said no. So I didn't get any video cap for this week's show. That's why you were watching you on one of your previous Naga runs before you turned her into a pussy. And
indeed,
yeah, so it's you and Benson, which AKA Pseudo, finishing up doing some of the McKeb runs. So that's what you're going to be watching there. However, I did get in and run on Squeeza. I'm trying to get her to 55, and it just seems like I went 51, 52. It's just kind of I think she got to 53. But I ran, and I'm trying to remember the name of that stupid. It's I want to say Kaon Under Siege, but I know that's not right. It's the one where you start out outside and you run along and you've got the little guys that come around and you blow them up. It's got a whole bunch of animals and you go all the way up the top of the hill, and then you gotta run inside the building. You got a big robot you gotta pass inside the building. Then you go inside the building, and then there's the I don't remember. Anyways,
sounds like the prison one.
Yeah, I think it
Maelstrom
is.
Prison.
I think it might be Maelstrom Prison. So anyways, went in there and did that, and that was fun, and got a few things, and did a few things, and did a few things, and so I did do some running around on there, and then this last week, I guess that was the week before. So the last week, I jumped on one of my newest characters, Narconia, as the Cathar. She's a smuggler, and did a bunch of Did a bunch of the, running around, just doing regular missions. You know, skipping. I'm just skipping through everything. I've done these planets a billion fucking times. So you know, I'm on to. I think it's it's the one where you got to go and get your Wookiee. It's got the red district.
I don't know. I've never gotten that far.
The red light district.
Oh,
Nar Shaddaa. So I'm on Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah, it's the only one with the red light district.
Yeah, and it's great because I'm playing. Of course, I'm playing her as a smartass. You know, works great for me. So and it gets quite a few good comments out of the stream too. It's like, man, she's a pussy and a bitch, you know, that type of shit. So, anyways, so it was a lot of fun running around with her. I jumped on her as a lobby because I was hoping that one of my streamers was going to come on and run with me, but he wasn't able to come on. So did a bunch of that, got her up to like 20-ish. So yeah, so I did a lot of fun. And I'll be playing again on Friday. So. That's it. That's pretty much it for this week. Played around with some of this. Oh, I did get Sweeza her Barbie bike. I'm stoked about that. The pink speeder. So she's happy with that, and that works out well for her. Got a couple of more box stuff. You know, some drops from the boxes. Nothing too fancy.
Mm-hmm. Anything good?
No. Nothing good. Nothing that I already didn't already have anyway. So now I've got like three pairs of the casual bottoms. So yeah. So no, nothing really spectacular. And and you didn't do jack shit.
No, I didn't. You know, I tried to with my live stream. I tried to set up a schedule like you did.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening actually was that I just completely lost it. I can't
set to a schedule.
If I'm really enticed by a game, I'll play it nonstop, and that's great.
Yeah.
But I can't set a schedule for myself.
Yeah.
I'm an erratic gamer. There are some nights that I'm really all about tanks. Other nights I'm really all about this. My wife even wants me to play WoW with her on my days off. Well, that doesn't work because sometimes it's just not in the mood.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my wife yelled at me for my last, I think it was my Sunday stream.
Yeah.
Because I said, wife's up, must play WoW. And that quite literally was it. She wanted to play WoW. And dog, by the way, if you're listening to this, yes, I have a warlock. She was locked down for the last 4 years. I got her to level 60. I got her to level 60 one time, and that was the end.
Yeah,
I'll digress over that more at another point. I'm not feeling it. I don't know if it's because I don't have anybody to play with, or the fact that I've been there, done that. 5 levels doesn't feel like much to.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like there's just not enough for me as an altaholic to play.
Yeah.
You get through 2 or 3 of the planets, and you really don't have much you can alter.
Yep.
You can do alternatively, which I think is what's killed me with a lot of the game. For a while, I thought that doing the podcast was what was going to be the killer for the game for me, and it just ended up being that the game ran out of interest.
Yeah.
I've done every planet on my various characters, even including Nolani. So I've done every planet.
Yeah.
I've done every mission in the game. And there's, other than grinding up, and I tried that, that would change my perspective, just grinding up through PvP and through dungeon running, and that didn't help.
Yeah.
And I don't see enough in the game right now for me to keep going, on the game, literally.
Yeah.
I'll get into that in a minute.
Mm.
But we do have a small amount of news.
Okay.
This will probably be a landmark short episode for us. I do apologize, but you won't have to worry about that for too much longer.
Yeah.
So, Lanyard, go ahead and play that newsreel.
Here's your galactic news. Look what you missed while you were sleeping.
All right, so apparently you didn't miss shit.
That was it. That was the news.
Apparently, the great people over at BioWare have delayed patch 2.2, which was supposed to be out this week, possibly even till tonight. I didn't actually see an update exactly when they were planning on dropping it. Yeah, it says 6/11, which means they're doing it tonight, one whole day. But on the flip side, when that patch comes up, you'll be able to see all the greatness that comes from paid character transfers. That reminds me, we will be leaving the if you are on a server where you think, yeah, come on, Dat, I'll play with you. Hit our email at sithtalk@gmail, and maybe I'll pay the character transfer. But as part of that character transfer, guys, remember, SWTOR, being no slouch, has actually put a reasonable price, I'll say, on character transfers. They're supposed to be in the realm of 1,800 points, or $15 roughly, was the estimate as how much the character transfers are going to cost. But it's not going to be right at 2.2.0. It's actually going to be a little later at 2.2.1. Nonetheless, when that drops, it may actually behoove me to come and take a look, see if I can find a better place or a slightly busier server. I wish there was a junket rate where you could say, I'm going to transfer my entire fucking account over to X.
That would be a great way to just do it, yeah.
And I would gladly pay $30 for that.
Or if they just mash all the servers
$15
together.
a character, that would be fucked up. Yes, and I have seen where actually that is a plus minus, because if they could find a way to hack into Blizzard's account and find out exactly how Blizzard maintains something like 100 servers, and manages to let everybody play on the same map at the same time, that would be great. Although I'd really, really, really hate to see that, especially since Blizzard does it now, and out of the hundreds of servers, I'm lucky to come across 15 players.
Right.
In 30 hours of play.
Yeah.
But you know, the jacked up part about that is it's everything in Blizzard's universe is phased.
Yeah. Everything.
At no point in the game, you know, everything's phased now. So if you're not in the same phase, you're never going to know anybody was there anyway. Now, when you finally get to the final section where it's phased in completely, okay, you really don't see anybody there either. Although I will say that Dalaran is still the fleet of World of Warcraft, because that's the only place I can find anybody. But it says here, as far as how much it costs, it's going to be 1,800 coins, or roughly $15 US. It says, how do I transfer a character? Once the services go live, you'll go to your account page on SWTOR.com and transfer from there. What happens to the name collision? If your character name is already taken by another player and you're on your new server, you will need to rename your character. Your character will be flagged for rename once you log in. So you have to choose a new name.
You just won't be able to go into the server.
Same thing you'll do every other time.
Same thing you do on every other game.
Unlike before, your legacy unlocks and your achievements earned will be still waiting for you inside on your new server. So that's definitely a plus. They had to add issues when they did the initial server condensation that it didn't actually deluge transfer over with you, which kind of sucked balls. It says what happens to your legacy on both the source and destination servers. Whichever legacy is higher will take precedence and become the new legacy. So if you have a character on the server and you transfer a higher legacy over to that server, the higher legacy is what's going to kick over. So you don't lose anything if you transfer your big legacy character over to your, oh shit, I just made a character one time to your server. However, if you're free to play, you don't have to worry about legacy shit anyway because you got to pay for it anyway. So, and then there's, is there a way to transfer my guild? There is currently no method in place to transfer the entire guild at one time. Each person must transfer. Now, this is one of those things where you kind of can't expect them to transfer the whole guild. If you transferred an empty guild and it was like you left in it, then I guess it wouldn't be that big of a deal because you just pack your bags and run. If you have an entire guild, how fucked up would it be if the guild master's like, hey, fuck you guys, we're going to X, and now you've got all your old buddies on your last server going, where'd you go?
Well, that's they did that when they did the server mashes too. They had a lot of issues with guild transfer. Some people never got their transfer of guild.
Massive issue.
So they probably just said, "Fuck it, we're not going to deal with that." Not a problem that they've never had a problem at all with. Let's see, since I think pretty much almost day one with Rift, you had transfers. But whatever. Hey, free transfers, by the way. Oh, and you can transfer your guild. And and when you transfer the guild, it says you'd log in and it says, "Hey, your guild is transferred to such and such server. Would you like to go with them? Yes? No?" If you say yes, your character is instantly transferred there. If you say no, then you're out of the guild. Not a problem. And that's free. And you can transfer your characters once a week. I'm just saying. It can be done.
It can be done by the miracle of the interwebs. And it looks like, though, they're just now doing the patch for 2.2. It's predated tomorrow's tape, by the way, Lanyard. I wanted to throw that out to you. So I may scroll through here and check it out. But I'm actually more interested in the new Contraband Pack. The Asheron's Contraband Pack, they actually put up some screenshots to give us an idea of what this new white-black crystal was. Actually doesn't look too bad. It's white, but it emanates darkness. Which basically comes out as gray. So it's centrally white and then gray as the outline, which is kind of an interesting look. The mint green is it's a scope bottle. Bright white in the middle and scope on the outside. So we're keeping it minty fresh with the mint green.
It could be yellow green.
And give us a preview.
It could be yellow green. Then we just you just call it Mountain Dew.
Oh, I smell rebranding. They put up some of the new gear, that being the Khal Nord armor set. As well as the Mantilian Separatist armor and the Covert Waste Energy armor, and it looks good.
Covert,
they actually demo that.
Covert Waste Energy. Is that like the
and Wrist Energy armor?
The secret garbage hauler gear?
Actually, I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
You're a secret trash man.
Like
You're an undercover trash man.
It looks like some Dune-style wrist wraps.
Oh, right, nice.
Oddly enough, they do pair it with the relaxed vestments, which are basically people running around in their underwears and nighties.
Yeah.
And on the chicks, it actually works so that it looks like it's an bra, which is kind of decent.
It's a tube top.
I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to see. Okay, that was something on my screen. I thought for a second the character had a nipple. Whoa!
What?
Welcome back to Switch. Yeah, for real. Right? And then, of course, we have the Rotworm armor, which is purple and gray. I actually like it. Big, fat fucking Rotworm on the front of it. I think that's cool because when you've got a game that has a sport, especially like Hutball, something like this is just close enough to being interesting to make it happen. Because that was one of the things we had said from the beginning with all of the customized or the social gear, the social moddable gear. That it would be great if you could be able to just show up as a whole team in that. I do think it will be fucking hilarious if the entire team was rotten worms and they show up in frog dog gear.
Well, see, now
I very, very much foresee it looking like a backyard football game where everybody's
wearing the wrong gear,
jersey, only to end up on the wrong team.
Right.
So
I don't see why they didn't just make it to where when you get in there and you end up on Frog Dogs or Rotworm, you're just automatically wearing like a tabard for that team. You know, in the game, it's already just put in.
I had said the game needed tabards in the first place.
Yeah, no. Tabards are fantasy games.
Tabard equivalent.
They need a guild a guild badge or a guild badge or something. Yeah.
And what they've done with like this plated armoring for the Rotworms, the Frog Dogs, Home and Away. The fuck was that?
My phone telling me it's raining outside.
Oh my god. You doofus. You've got a window like 4 feet away. I know, because it burns you with sunlight every time we record the other show.
I know. But it's also blacked out because it burns me every time we record the show.
If they had done something like this for guilds, I think that would have been phenomenal. I know you probably aren't looking at the pictures, but that's okay.
No, I'm not.
You want the pictures, Lanyard?
No, I don't want
Okay.
to. I'll look at them later. I'll look at them when they go live.
Fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting the way they've done them. I think if we could have had something like this to display our guild name or a emblematic item for our guilds, this would have been something that maybe would have increased the likelihood of people joining guilds and really getting into it.
Well, now
they also have the Ulgo Statesman outfit, which has the most beautiful back piece I've ever seen in SWTOR.
Is it a G-string?
No, it's just that it's got it's more of a tapestry.
Oh.
It's a 2-layer back piece with the star in the center of it. It's got red and black lines, gold imprint. It's really sharp. Then, of course, they've got the slightly less interesting Ulgo Loyalist uniform. The Regal apparel, which looks, well, it looks like a Roman bath towel. Blue and white there. Now, one of the things I will say, I was going through the list when we were getting set up for the show. One of the things I will say I think is a complete joke is the Rascals toothpick. Now, that being said, there's a toothpick in WoW that people fought forever to get. Because it sparkled and it was a shiny nail toothpick thing from the Halloween festival.
Yep.
And everybody fought to get that thing. So I'm sure the Rascals wooden toothpick in the future universe of SWTOR will be highly sought after. There's also the green efficiency scanner, which looks terrible. Wow. On top of that, we also have new pets, the Emnyween Fluffer Plume, which looks like a black crow or raven on heroin, a little drugged out.
Okay.
The straight Wriggler, which it's like every other Wriggler, only this one's purple and red. Then another Blurg has shown its face. It's the Nefarious Blurg. This one is black and red. And my favorite, the little power droid, the shitty little super bot that preceded the well-known R2-D2. We get to see a model very similar to it on the Jawa's traveling land ship on Tatooine. That would be the 4th movie. Then there's a Lilac, the B-28 Extinct class bomber.
State class bomber?
Extinct.
Oh,
Extinction class.
Extinction. Nice. That sounds cool. Is it a real bomber?
No, it looks like a really large X-wing. It's got what looks like what might be 2 neutron bombs.
Cool.
And in the land of new titles, of course, there's the Contraband Collector and Archeron. Or Archon, the A people? Archon.
The A people?
Archon. And in the land of new mounts, of course, we can't live in SWTOR without some random-ass looking throne. So the portable relaxation unit, no, ladies, it's not a Sabian. This one is actually one you can sit in and doesn't vibrate. It looks like a gigantic tub.
Awesome.
And they show a woman on it, so I guess that works out. Now, some of the things I was telling Lanyard I think is really cool is the Artec Lux and Blur. These are following in the shadow, the Artec Shadow, where it has a very light, transparent skin. Mm-hmm. With the Lux, it is bright orange and looks orange and yellow. On the Blur, it is a really iridescent blue. But neither one, I mean, both of them look very attractive. Wouldn't begrudge anyone for wanting it. And then, of course, there's the Urtec Basic, which is literally basic. It's the same model that they use for the Lux and the Blur and the Shadow, just without the armor. It's the engine and the basic struts. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And then we've got the Prexon Echo. This one is really kind of sharp. Really proud of it. The Mantis, finally one that looks like we're sitting on it as opposed to leaning into or off of.
Okay.
This one, it's very cool. It's, she's sitting back, she's relaxed. That's what I think a land speeder should look like. That makes me happy. Then they've done a reskin of my Renali, the Rendelli, excuse me, Solar, which is obviously fiery colors. We got a bunch of new weapons, which I'm really happy with. The Derelict Saber Staff, which is crazy because very few people use those. The Primordial Assault Cannon. This one's got me interested.
That sounds fun.
The Primordial Assault Cannon looks like a combination Gatling gun and wet dry vac.
Awesome! I want one.
It's got this gigantic canister in the middle with the hose that goes around to the back. It looks like there's no better description, I think, than that. It's got a front handle, a back handle, just like every other assault cannon.
Yeah.
This one has apparently wet and dry. And,
it has a wet dry switch on the side.
Yeah. There's a few others like the Primordial Blaster. This one being a traditional one-handed blaster, but it has wood grips and seems to be a bit more solid iron. And then we have the Primordial. Apparently, this is a big thing for them. Primordial. For anything that's weaponized.
It's the new.
And
Primordial. It's the new black.
And then of course the Derelict lightsaber, which I'll be honest, with the guns, I could see a reason to go all detailed and super sick on it.
Lightsabers not so much.
You do occasionally see them. Lightsabers are overshadowed by the light they cast, so
well,
I get why they want to do that.
That and when you're carrying them, you really can't see anything unless they're instead of a typical lightsaber, it's a stick. Yeah. Okay. But if they've got maybe there's the one lightsaber I got that had a bend to it, like what's his face's Count Dooku's that we had a goofy bend to it. You could see that, right, when you're swinging it, you could see that. But yeah, all the fancy detail and shit, that's great. But I don't sit there and look at my fucking lightsaber this close. You don't see it. So you're right. I mean, I don't see why they need to get all fancy.
As a bounty hunter or as a
trooper
or as a
gunslinger, sniper
class. Yeah. Well, gunslingers, they're pistols no matter what. But the sniper,
this is a
really long weapon, so you can, Yeah.
I just wish, I want the scatter gun to be like holstered.
A proper secondary weapon?
Yeah, holstered.
So you can see it on
So you can see it, yeah. I mean, because when you do the animation, it's you grabbing it from your back shoulder, pulling it out,
right,
boom, and then putting it back. So, but then it's not there. So it's like, where are they pulling this out of, So I wish that
infinite pockets.
Right. I wish that if you were that class, that it would have the shotgun mounted to your back, because and it's always funny too, because they show these really fancy looking shotguns, but you never actually fucking see them except for that's it. I mean, so I wish they would, and I wish they had a couple other options for it too, rather than just that one fucking thing. The other day I picked up a shotgun that had aim on it, and for a second there I was like, why the fuck does my shotgun have aim on it? I'm a cunning. I'm all cunning. So I started reading what aim does for that, and I was like, oh, I could see a healer using it, because it could give you you better better healing abilities, but you would never actually. It would just be a stat item.
It would be a stat stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Additionally, they have some new moods we've put in. Now, I don't, well, emotes, I should say.
Goody.
There's the boohoo. God knows we have to have boohoo. I guess if you were consistently raping some lobby, then boohoo would work for you. There's very creepy, because everyone gets really, there's a very creepy mood, which, of course, everyone gets right on top of their faces when they're playing their character. And it's basically...
Yeah, it's a grin, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big cheesy grin and bulging eyes. Same thing that happened to me after too many hours of raiding.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then of course there's the woohoo, which is a jumping cheer. The dancing of a jig, which is a great way to make fun of Irish people.
I wonder if this is where the interns go. You get the interns, and their first assignment as an actual employee is in the emote department.
Maybe.
Because
either that or the next section.
It sounds like they have an entire fucking department devoted to fucking making emotes. Because if you look at the emote list now, it's like, really?
Well, and 2/3 of them you can't do unless you're either subscribed or
pay
you
for
bought
them.
the emote packs.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Then there's Credit Boom. There's a consumable called Credit Boom. Credit Boom is a booby prize.
It's a booby prize?
Basically, it's not boobies.
Oh.
It's a Credit Boom basically gives you a chance to get some cash back on what you bought out of the box.
Oh.
So at random, if you get a Credit Boom, you could see like $50,000.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. In fact, I got that. I was like, holy crap!
And
We
I've
got
gotten it
58, 650 or something like that. I was like, that's a nice little hit. Yeah.
It almost makes you feel like you got some reward when the rest of the things you buy are just
sell. Yeah.
And of course, they're showing some of the models for the new dye kits, that being the orange blue and the pale red brown, and the yellow medium yellow, the dark yellow and medium yellow, the dark purple, light purple, the medium brown and medium green, as well as the pale blue and pale gray. Pale blue, pale gray looks sky blue.
Yeah.
I had great hopes for the dark purple, light purple, being that's my wife's favorite color. I thought it would be great for her characters. But then it keeps occurring to me that they don't want anyone doing one color and taking away the textural nature of their gear.
Nope.
And there is technically a third dye module that you'll never get your hands on because it's the developer's dye module.
Yep.
It's what allows them to keep the contrast in the gear so that you can look at the interesting detail.
Yeah.
And I respect that. However, I'd like to be able to have, like, okay, well, these three things are the dye modules, and if you really want to do all purple, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some jackass who wants to get, like, nonstop, pale or medium yellow or pale yellow, and go, oh, look, I'm a pissy pussy.
Yeah, something like that.
Or something retarded to that nature. But I just... The color combinations, looking at these gears now on SWTOR's blog site, their news blog, it actually has the same characters, the same armor for all three, just to give you the idea of what it would look like. Mm-hmm. And in each one, you can see where black or dark gray has to be present, no matter what. So you don't get. I don't feel like you get a true customization of it. Of course, there's all kinds of extra boosts that we get out of all the boxes there is. Companion gifts that if you still haven't raked up your companion, what the fuck are you doing? Crafting materials that you guys know. If you're already to the point that you're in the top tier of crafting again, then the items that you normally get from doing your missions will randomly drop out of the boxes. The Jawa-grams, may the force be with you, party on, and awesome are all available. There are new reputation items as well, so that you can get your rep up with the cartel. So that's a lot of cool shit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to thumb through here. Of course, Game Update 2.2 has the new Operation Nightmare mode available for Terra from Beyond, new vehicles. Mm-hmm. The Helix Hyperpod will be dropping from Nightmare mode. New rewards and new items added to several story mode encounters, Terra from Beyond, Scum and Villainy. Additional details below, which I probably won't read. And then new features, characters and guilds, the gain of reputation and XP per unique account, i.e. don't fill your guild up full of alts, even though why not have all your characters in the same fucking guild to bolster the numbers to guarantee you a whopping 10% reputation and or XP gain, if I remember correctly on that note.
5 or 10, yeah.
They're also discounting several pieces of gear, Marylandian tattoos. Basically, almost quite a few of the items that they introduced with the ability to change your character's look have been discounted by about 50%. Items being removed, black market cartel boxes. It says an embargo has been placed on all shipment 1 cartel packs. The following packs and corresponding hyper crates will no longer be available in the cartel. Black Market Cartel Pack, Crime Lords Cartel Pack, Blockade Runners Cartel Pack, Skip Tracers Cartel Pack, and Space Pirates Cartel Pack. The Gree Solascant vehicle is no longer available. The Gold Scallion armor set no longer available. So if you've been dicking around for the last 8 months, going, I'll buy that later, you're officially fucked.
Until the next.
But hey, on the plus side, there's about 900 people on the server
that
who have already bought all that shit and have been selling it at outrageous prices.
Yep.
Now you just have to afford that.
Yep. And then it'll come back again. They'll just bring it back.
Well, I figure what they'll do is they'll take it out and revamp it and bring it back. I thought what would be good is if they sold it for like 2 months and then took it off and put a new pack on. And if they did that every 2 months, they'd only have to make 6 packs a year, drastically limiting the amount of wasted time on cartel packs, and we could all be happier. Of course, there's a bunch of class changes, which I'm not going to read through because according to one of our previous reviews, listening to me read is like listening to that really retarded kid in the class the teacher forced to read even though he was dyslexic. Once again, I am a dyslexic. Thank you. Fuck it.
Ouch.
Yeah. I can't imagine why I ever felt bad occasionally reading. If he'd have said I stuttered too much or said or you know whatever too much,
that's just
then
that would just
okay.
Yeah, that's just something that everybody's got to work on that hasn't read out loud. I mean, that happens to everybody.
Here's the reason I listen to audio. Come over to PF4 later this year. I'm gonna shove a fucking brick of C4
right up your ass. I'm gonna no, you did that wrong. I'm gonna shove a brick of 4C up your ass.
4C.
Don't fuck with. Don't me with fuck you.
Wait, does that mean that Yoda was a dyslexic?
He was an inside out. Yeah, don't fuck with you, I will. That's right. He was a little more than that. He was an inside out, backwards speaking friend.
That explains why he had too many late nights with Mr. Skywalker. You feel better now?
Yep.
All right. There were, of course, some of these notes. Of course, we covered in the previous one.
Yep.
About characters not being backfilled into already lost fights in war zones. One miscellaneous bug fix that I do not remember actually being on here is on here this week. It says, miscellaneous bug fixes. Female bounty hunters and smugglers with body type 2 will no longer have the incorrect leg animation when they are near other players or NPCs.
The fuck were they doing?
Were they just going to Kimbo? You know,
they were the.
This once again falls into the category of who the fuck noticed.
I'm
playing hutball and I'm running around and suddenly my legs spread right in front of another character.
I'd lay on my back and spread open my legs. I don't understand it. It's the horror bug fix. That's hilarious.
The horror bug fix. Yeah. No longer shall you be a sloppy cunt.
Proper leg
you guys will be
movement.
able to look forward to that probably about the time this gets uploaded. So there is your patch notes. Now, one more thing I'm going to throw in there for fun. A game that I have been waiting for and waiting for and waiting for.
And waiting for.
Much anticipated Star Wars Battlefront. Love Battlefront games, much like... I think it was the original Battlefront game. Battlefront 2 came out on the Xbox eons ago. The ability to play as one of the troopers just decimating the field. A first-person shooter for SWTOR for Star Wars fans. I am a big fan of that. Get the Jedis out of my fucking way. I want to blow some shit up.
Right.
This game debuted at E3 this week. Of course, to be perfectly honest, the preview for it was a bit scant. Very nice visuals, as the next generation of systems will be equivalent to will be near equivalent, I will say, to the people who are running the newest 770 graphics card from NVIDIA, or some of the more top-end cards available through ATI, excuse me. Or I guess it's AMD now, isn't it? Because AMD bought out ATI. Yeah. So if you're running a top of the scale AMD processor, on your computer, no worries, my good friend. You already have what looks awesome. It's just about to look better.
Yep.
I'm actually looking forward to debating. I've got a birthday coming up. I'm either going to start saving my pennies to buy the new PS3 or
A tank.
save my pennies and buy a really big fucking GPU. Yeah, I'm damned and determined. I want to spend $600 on my first video card. I think that will be great. I may end up pairing it up with about another $700 worth of stuff, but don't tell my wife because she'll kill me. Yeah, I'm working on slowly but surely building my fourth computer. I have a bulldozer processor from AMD that I want to buy, a motherboard. I'm not going to run any more than the 16 gigs of RAM I already have, but I want to be able to have the appropriate PCI 3.0 slots to run a new video card, so I can get the full beefiness out of it. I also want to get one of the sick ass full ATX towers, because while this one weighs a good 60 pounds, I want something that's guaranteed to weigh about 100 pounds, sound like a jet engine taking off, and keep my house warm in the winter. But yeah, Battlefront is on its way out, kiddies. For those of you who are like, you know what, man, I love my RPGs, but had a little too much. Battlefront on its way to Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4 this holiday, because of course they do cross-platform carry-up. However, if you want to play the best version of it, from my money, from what I've seen at E3 so far, probably going to be a PlayStation. And I fought off Sony for years, but if you have to go console, kiddies, definitely go PS3, or pray to God your internet connection never gets fuzzy for more than 24 hours.
Right.
But that is the end of the fucking news.
End. It is the end of the news. That is the end of the news.
That is the end. And WN. Hold on. WN.
Yeah.
God, it's almost a sick pleasure that I love that movie. I can't stand Howard. Love that movie.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay. Yep.
All right, so moving on a little bit. Lanyard, where are we on time? So I know.
I don't
Any
know.
clue? Not a clue.
We're halfway through. We're halfway through Naga, and we just passed the AFK half-hour break that you took.
I did not take a half-hour AFK break.
No, we're at.
It's like a 15-minute break at best.
We're at about 1 hour, maybe a little more. I don't know.
All right, so
maybe a little more, 1:15, something like that. Because I started this while we were waiting to get going, so it's a little off. But yeah.
Ooh. All right, so nonetheless, what the fuck? My door's opening. What do you want, woman?
Hello. Yes, we didn't get anything from Pseudo today.
Recording a podcast?
We didn't get anything from Pseudo this week. What is your...
No. My nephew, Sticky, said it.
Oh.
What are you doing? Well, I was going to record a podcast, but since you're in here...
Thanks, Lone. Thanks, Lone. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi.
Love you too, buddy.
Yeah,
no shit, literally, right?
Is this Mr. Rogers' neighborhood? Who's knocking at the door?
Who's knocking at the door? Actually, you know what? That's a throwback to my favorite book, The Infected. Who's that knocking at the door? Who's that ringing the bell? Anyway. We'll be back right after this brief interlude of two idiots singing. But no, I want to thank everybody for all the support over the last year or so that we've done the show through my two co-host changes. Lanyard has been awesome, giving us better and better visuals on every video cast, having a hardcore ethic to try to get the best possible sound out of every show, and be able to supply the best possible cast. I want to thank all of our contributors over the past year who have allowed us to keep the website up, or the pod stream up, whether that's some of my friends or just some of our listeners. I would like to thank the people who did put in to be part of the show and asked to be my next co-host. But I found, after 3 weeks of soul searching, that I'm not playing the game as much as I used to because I don't have the fervor. I'm not going to say it's BioWare's fault, because it's technically not. It's mine. I just, as much as I love the game, it's not something I think about playing as much as I used to.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where Lanyard fell in. Lanyard had told me that, dude, I'm not, Dad, I just don't feel like playing some weeks. And I think part of it's because when we do this show, it feels obligatory to go in and play because we don't want to shortchange our fans.
Right.
That's the big portion of it. And that was my thing. Like, I gotta play. And then yesterday I got on and I was getting ready to load up my stream, and I had just watched the E3 videos. And I was like, oh my God, Battlefield 4 looks fucking righteous. Right. So I loaded up Battlefield 3, was playing that for a little bit, completely threw me off my want to play SWTOR. Tried to load SWTOR up, and it crashed twice, and I just gave up on that.
Yeah.
And then my little buddy, Master Browns, one of my regular watchers, was like, hey, Dad, want to play Marvel? And I'm like,
all right.
Marvel Heroes it is.
Yeah.
And some people will say, oh, well, you're just catering to your fans, and I am. But
that's why we have them.
My fans of the live stream, the fans of my live stream are also the people that play games I do. Just like those of you who listen to this podcast have always played SWTOR. And you are the ardent fans of SWTOR. And I am not going to shit on BioWare, EA, or SWTOR in and of itself. All of the above are very good. EA does do their best to bring out righteous, money-bringing titles. BioWare makes sure that we have amazing storyline and some great visuals, which we have touted for this game for the entirety of the time of our podcast. Sans Kevin's and mine occasional rips of
we all
fix it.
we all had our rants. Yep.
Yours normally revolved around doing the bombing runs and hutballs.
Yeah, well, it's just those two things.
Right. Which both PvP matches are still obviously highly regarded because they've released customizable gear.
Yeah.
So that you can wear it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But me personally, I think it's just like I said, it's a lack of me being able to level up in a different area. Because though I like the core storyline, and I do not think anybody does it better than BioWare has in this particular game, the core storyline was fucking phenomenal for every character that I played. I just kind of wish that as far as the submissions went, I could have gotten missions on a different planet.
Yeah. Or
maybe, because I do like PvP in my PvP servers, we could have let everyone play the storyline at the same fucking time. I'm playing WoW now, and I don't even remember what I was on my Warlock. And I'm just floating in the air, sitting on my mountain. All of a sudden I come back from being AFK, fucking dead.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I didn't get attacked till I sat my fat ass back down at the chair.
Right.
And this dude just hits levitate, hits me with Shadow Word of Death, and my character falls out of the sky.
Right.
And that, to me, oddly enough, and I've talked to Master Browns, he actually transferred a character over to the Scylla server in 81 so that he can play with me. He's like, oh, I don't play PvP, and I'm like, well, you'd be surprised how little PvP there is. And then, of course, that night I get fucking slain.
Yeah, I've had the same questions about Rift. I mean, they're like, oh, it's a PvP server. There's not really much world PvP though. I mean, no more than there's not like you're having problems with ganking or anything like that. So.
And I mean, really, the only planet we worried about all that much had to have been Tatooine.
Tatooine.
I'd have to say.
Tatooine or Alderaan.
And even on Tatooine. Well, see, I didn't have that much trouble on Alderaan. It was always on Tatooine, and it was always about the point where we hit that area that was supposed to be, no man's land, anybody's PvP zone.
Yeah.
But that was the only time. And between questing and the lack of world PvP, it really killed me. I grew up on a PvP server. It was I've said it before, it was a rite of passage to go to the barrens and get stopped by an alliance, or go somewhere in the wetlands and get stopped by
getting anywhere through Stranglethorn.
Even try to level.
Yes, even try to get anywhere in Stranglethorn without getting ganked.
Yeah, it was a roving death squad consistently. Either you were getting pwned by the NPCs that for some odd reason on your way to a lower level questing area were entirely higher than you, or some asshole you couldn't tell what level he was ganking you on your way to get fucking killed by the monster. And for me, that really does take a lot out of the game. Yeah. My personal thing is I've got a bunch of games in my collection.
Yep.
I actually got to work with Lanyard to see if he can make me a scroll that I could just have running down the side of my stream.
Oh, that, yeah.
I'm sure. I don't know if you thought of this.
No.
I want to see if we can do an icon scroll that just scrolls the games I have.
An icon scroll?
Yeah.
Just the icons or the names of the games?
The symbols.
Oh, like little banners, like little banners.
Right. See, I think that would be a nice challenge for you, Lanny. So you'll have to think about that one. You'll probably just twist them sideways and run it, and I'll have to twist it on my screen or something.
We could always. I'd have to have access to your list because I know where I could just screen cap it right off of fucking Steam.
Okay, well, I'll show you my list, and you'll fucking...
That's why I'm saying I'd have to have access to your list, because I'm not going to sit here and listen to you for 4 hours while I look up each badge. No, it'd be easier...
I only have 160 games, though.
Oh, that's not too bad, then. Still. But yeah, that's a cool idea, though. That's a cool idea.
But no, I mean, I have a bunch of games. Anybody who tunes into my live streams have watched me play an entire day's worth of... The Walking Dead. You guys will come and see me.
400's coming out summer.
I know. I saw that. Wow, you're just getting
I am, man. I'm so stoked.
I get into my games and I don't want the pressure. That's why I don't give myself a schedule on my stream to play a specific game. I don't think that's what killed it. What killed it was the fact that everybody I knew stopped playing. And then, of course, I was like, well, if I have nobody to play with, I'll go enjoy this great single-player adventure. And then I go to enjoy this great single-player adventure. It's the same single-player adventure I had with 3 other characters. And the only difference is my core mission, which doesn't really do anything to interest me because it's boring. But nonetheless, man, it's been great to have so many amazing listeners. Up to this point, we have sustained 3,500 downloads on a regular, 3,500 monthly downloads. Most of which, roughly 90% of that has been RSSs, so subscribers. And I do thank every one of you for that. And I hope that as we continue to iron out the format of Name and Progress, that you guys come and join us on that. I told Lanyard when he announced that... we try not to tear up. No, I told Lanyard when he announced that he was going to no longer be on the show, that was fine. I was going to carry on my own.
And carry it on.
Another co-host and keep carrying the banner of Sith Talk around. And I realized I was fighting against the inevitable.
Yeah.
Because there are people that really do love the game and people who do play constantly. I wish a few more of them would have fucking sent me an email.
Right. I
told you my URL.
I still enjoy the game. I just can't sit down with it. I think for me what it was is when I played WoW, that was the first MMO style game, first multiplayer game that I've ever played.
Right.
And I was so overwhelmed by just the idea of the game. I was like, oh my god, these other characters running around are other people from other parts of the world. That's crazy. So that's what kept me in there. It was also, like I said, my first. And you never forget your first, man. So, and then I got
psychological scar.
Right. I got tired of that and started trying out other games. And even when SWTOR came along, I originally didn't want to play. I was like, I don't want to fucking play Star Wars. I don't care. And I had a bunch of friends that were playing WoW. They said, well, dude, you gotta play this fucking game. It's so fucking awesome. Oh my god, it's so cool. I'm like, alright, fine. So I fucking bought it. And right off the bat, I was like, wow, this is a new concept. You get to choose your own adventure. This is really, really fucking cool. And, like, within 2 weeks of them saying, this is the world's best game ever, they went right back to fucking WoW. And I finished on through, and I still love the game. However, that choose your own adventure, you come to find out, isn't really that choosy.
Yeah.
It's just basically choose your own conversation, and it's still going to be the same fucking. You know, you could tell the guy, you could tell your Sith Lord, hey, go fuck yourself. He doesn't cut you down. You know, he just says, watch your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, so. But it's still a really fun game.
Or those sections where you try to tell the guy, well, fuck off,
go away, get out of here. I don't want nothing to do with you.
I'll do it if you'll shut up.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. That's what it comes up to being that. Yeah, it comes down to where you don't have a choice. You still have to do the fucking mission. Or you know, the one companion, you're like, oh, this guy's a douchebag. I do not want him fucking on my ship. And there he is. Hey, I'm here to come on your ship. I don't want you on my ship. Okay, well, where do I put my bags? No, I don't want you on my ship. Even your fucking, I don't want you on my ship is not working. You know, it's like, alright, get your fucking shit on my ship.
And that's kind of how I felt with Gold. Like,
oh, I love Gold.
I was playing Goody Two Shoes. Well, I was playing Goody Two Shoes on my first bounty hunter. And on my second bounty hunter, I was like, oh, that's it. I'm going to kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Thinking I had a choice.
Yeah.
And it was like, no matter which direction you turned, either Mako or Galt was like, yeah, but I'm coming anyway. Yep,
I'm coming anyway.
And,
yeah.
You know,
so yeah, but it's just the fact that I've broadened my horizons to other games. You know, to other. I mean, here I am, way beyond some of these game releases, and I'm just now discovering them. I'm going, wow, these are really fucking great games. So I feel like I'm really behind on some of this shit. So I'm finding I'm getting better at shooters. Still, not, I might even be able to graduate into a first-person shooter. You know, I mean, it's like, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's kind of fun for me. So it's nice to get out of the realm of MMO. Now I still love the MMO. However, because I've got, you know, SWTOR, Secret World, Rift, and then I've got a couple other that are in beta that I've been playing around with. And they're all basically the same fucking thing. Go grind, go mission, go grind, go mission, go quest, go grind, go quest, go grind. Let's raid, let's do this. It's all the same. You know, and along the way while you're doing it, pick up some flowers and some rocks and skinning some stuff. You know, it's all the same fucking thing over and over again. They're all beautiful worlds. They're all beautiful storylines. They're all beautiful, but it's just the same fucking thing. So. For me, and as far as like my schedule for my Twitch, I love this schedule because that makes me look forward to a specific day, especially Mass Effect Day. I look forward to Saturday fucking every day. You don't know how bad when I get on to play something, I'm like, I want to play Mass Effect, but I don't want to play Mass Effect because if I do that, then the people that are waiting for it on Saturday miss out on an episode, and then they'll be like, oh, you know. So I really look forward to that, and it's a lot of fun. Keeping a regular schedule, because I also find that I have certain viewers that are on all the time. They're Polly and Gangster. They come on, you know, all the time. Con Artist, he's always there. Right. But there's other games and there's other games that I'll play that they like specifically, and they'll come for those games. So like on Mass Effect Day, Toph is always there. Tofster's always there. He doesn't really show up any other time of the week, but he'll always be there for Mass Effect Day. Nib is always there for Secret World. He's my fucking Secret World Wikipedia. I cannot play unless he's there. So yeah, it's in fact, I'll sit there and go, where the fuck's Nib? I'm just running around, you know. Nib, where the hell have you been? I can't fucking do anything. Anyway, so yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's why I keep my schedule. You know, I try to keep my schedule. I didn't get to play tanks today because we got late on the show, but
yeah.
But no,
I'm still playing.
I know you will, and I might. I mean, it's only 9, so I mean, I could probably play for an hour, depending on what time we close this show down.
You pussy. Yep.
Dude, I got to get like 10 hours of sleep, or I'm fucking sleeping in the truck, and it's not good because the truck's going down the highway. I mean, there's those little bumps to keep you on the road, but you know.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, those subcompacts just they roll away really
I know,
quick. You'll be okay.
Especially those smart cars.
But no, I mean, and that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like when I get on and play, like I hadn't played BF3 in forever, right?
Right.
Finally get back to playing BF3 last night, and a few people who intermittently troll me, but they watch because it's funny, you know, like, oh, that's lackluster, you got shot flying out of the sky, no shit.
Yeah.
But it's the variety of my games. I actually told my wife and my nephew I'm really to the point where I love MMOs, but the RPG aspect of them is starting to wane.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I love anything online, with the exception of like The Walking Dead, which is phenomenal.
Awesome game. And yet you've played it what 5 fucking times through now? I've done it once.
4 times.
4 times? Yeah, I've done it once, and it's just like I can't go back and do it again. I want to stick with where I'm at.
Yeah.
Don't want to get confused.
I absolutely. I've played it so many times. Like I even, I tried doing dick mode. Dick mode didn't.
You know what? I was thinking about doing. What's it called? Passive mode. So every opportunity, not saying a damn thing, just let it run out and see what happens. Except for all those times where if you don't say anything, you just sit there and keep walking through the forest. You gotta pick something, Yeah. So just like do total, okay, yeah. My kid's getting taken. My kid's getting eaten. The dude's getting eaten. My kid's getting eaten. My dude's getting eaten. What do you do? Just sit there and watch. I put bets on the kid.
I did think it would be fun as kind of a like money raiser or something to play The Walking Dead and make other people make my decisions.
I tried. I've done that.
Yeah,
that would be a great idea. You just have to have enough viewers to. But the only problem is there's that 30-second fucking delay, and in fucking Walking Dead, you might not get 30 seconds. Hurry up!
Well, you can ease that by making it direct stream, but I keep mine on a 30-second delay for reasons. But being able to play all the great games that I have makes me really happy. I am finally in a place where I have every video game I ever wanted as a kid, and I have the ability to play them whenever I want to. And it's got me to where I'm playing first-person shooters. I'm going back and playing all of these retro-tastic games. And I hope that everyone who has enjoyed the show will remember Sith Talk. I know I will, because I got the T-shirt. I went all the way to Sith Talk, and now I got the T-shirt.
Yeah. Well, I got a box of 25 of them. I don't know what to do with now. I'm kidding. I'll hand them out.
Motherfucker, we had giveaways. You didn't tell me, you cocksucker.
I'll give them away at New in Progress.
But no, that's another thing I'm gonna work on is I want to do some Name in Progress jerseys and make Kevin all pissed off because they're in the blue and black design that I like, and then maybe if you can come up with a Ripple design you like, we'll do that too, just to fuck with.
I'm gonna make a beanie. I'm gonna make a beanie with the ripple starting from the top, so it looks like you're wearing a nipple hat.
Hey there, tit. But we do thank you guys for all your support.
Yep.
And while we cannot guarantee we will see you in the pit, here's to hoping that one day we see you in the pit.
Adios. I switched to Brutus like a dumbass. Can't close the show out with fucking it up. Hello, Brutus. You haven't been here for months. What have you got to say? Okay, then.
It sucks.
And then I click the intro. God damn, am I drunk?
Thank you again for joining us here on Sith Talk. Lanyard and Dat look forward to talking with you next week. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Sith Talk, or stop by our Facebook page at facebook.com/Sith Talk. And of course our Gmail is sithtalk@gmail.com. This music brought to you by freeplay.com. And remember, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me.